So success for the home player in the very first final of the day here at the Fukushima Forest Sports Plaza. And the home fans, you can see, absolutely delighted by that, because they've got home players involved in 2 more finals, including the next final, which is women's doubles, because it is the current world #1s and World Championship silver medalists Yuki Fukushima and Sayaka Hirota up against the former world #1s and recently crowned Asian Games gold medalists Chen and JIA, the #3 seeds from China. Well, with women's doubles being our next final, a chance for us to look at the race to Guangzhou, and you can see that there are 4 Japanese pairs. Now, the pair at #7 are the world champions, so they get an invite to the finals, World Tour finals anyway. Now, here's the interesting thing. Yuki Fukushima and Sayaka Hirota, if they win today, they go up to #2, so they would be the 2nd pair from Japan to qualify if it was to stay like that. If they lose today's final, they only go up 1 place to #3. But win or lose, Chen and Jia Yifan will overtake Yule and Pedersen and go up to #5 on the HSBC BWF World Tour race to Guangzhou. So as far as the women's doubles draw is concerned, there was 3 Chinese pairs, as you can see, at quarter-final stage. And it was an all-Chinese affair in the bottom half of the draw. Du Yue and Li Yue having had a fabulous tournament, having put out last year's champions in the 2nd round, and the world champions, as you can see, in the quarter-final stage. But it is the former world champions, Chen and Jia Yifan, who have come through to play against the world #1s. What a perfect scenario. So it's Fukushima and Hirota up against Chen and Jia Yifan. So as we wait for the players to be announced onto court, it's always a lovely scenario, Steve, when we have former world #1s against current world #1s, Asian Games gold medalists against World Championships silver medalists. It's a wonderful scenario.
Yeah, it really is, and I've looked so much forward to this match here. I saw the Asian Games women's doubles tournament, and it was amazing. So really looking forward to see this one coming up.
Yes, me too. And of course, as I was just alluding to, a Japanese pair won the tournament last year. That was the Olympic champions, Zaki Natsutomo and Ayaka Takahashi. It was their 2nd title here, adding to the one they won in 2014. So, in essence, Yuki Fukushima and Sayaka Hirota trying to become only the 2nd women's doubles pair from the host nation to win the Japan Open women's doubles title. And they will be cheered all the way. The current world #1s, World Championship silver medalists, Asian Games bronze medalists. This their 6th final this year in just their 10th tournament. And that, quite frankly, is why they are world #1s. Already won 3 titles incidentally, but I'll tell you more about that later. So the former world champions, Chen and Jia Yifan. This their 4th final this year. I was telling you that it's a 6th final this year for their opponents. They, surprisingly, are actually looking for their 1st ever World Tour title, because the only final they have won so far this year was, of course, the Asian Games. Beaten in 2 World Tour finals so far, the Chinese pair, the Malaysian Masters Super 500 events, and then the Malaysian Open, which was the first of the Super 750 events. Now, as you can see, this is the 9th meeting between the two pairs, and it is the Chinese combination who've won 5 of the last 8, including the last time, which was the semi-final of the individual event at the Asian Games. The Japanese pair won when they met in the women's team competition of the Asian Games. Now that's interesting because CHEN and JIA have chosen to start at a particular end of the court. So choosing ends has proved preferable, which is what I'm surprised if that doesn't happen. There's always a difference in ends in these big arenas. So both pairs highly experienced. And Yuki Fukushima, 25 years of age. And her partner made a steady progression at the Japan Open over the years. 3 years when they lost in the first round, and then 2 years ago got to the second round, but then lost the winners Pedersen and Yule, semi-finalists last year. Lost to the eventual champions Matsutomo and Takahashi. Turned 24 last month, did HIROTA. It's a second consecutive final for her here at the Japan Open, because a year ago she was beaten in the final of the mixed doubles, playing with Takura Koki. Now they had a marathon match in the second round because they had a bye in the first against Zhang Yena, the left-hander, and Jung Kyung-eun. They beat the number 6 seeds in the quarterfinal. Yesterday's semi-final against the number 4 seeds Gracia Polyi and Apriyani Rahayu. There was a rally in that match of over 200 shots. It really was incredible. Chen is 21 years of age, born on Olympic Day. The 23rd of June is Olympic Day, and I wonder if that's a sign for things to come, maybe in 2 years' time in this very arena. Her partner, same age, and in fact is 6 days younger than her partner, born in Tianjin. And they, last year, were beaten in the first round by Aratama and Watanabe. But they got their revenge, as you could see this year, in the second round, because they beat the pair that beat them, surprisingly beat them, in the first round a year ago. Then they played against teammates in the last 2 rounds. First of all, Tang Jinhua and Yu Xiao Han, and then against Du Hue and Li Yinghui, who, as I was saying, had a magnificent tournament here in Tokyo. So the umpire, Jidurut Tanu Karapat, and Christian Johannesson from Denmark, the service judge.
On my right, Chen Qingzhen and Qian Yifan, China. And on my left, Yuki Fukushima and Sayaka Hirota, Japan. Yuki Fukushima to serve to Jia Yifan. Love all, play.
So the women's doubles final gets underway. The number 1 seeds, Yuki Fukushima and Sayaka Hirota, against the left and right-handed combination, Chen Cheng and Jia Yifan. So Steen, I'm expecting you to give us the inside scoop, because you were in Jakarta at the Asian Games. When they met in the women's team competition, it was an easy win for the Japanese pair, and then it was relatively easy for the...
totally easy the other way around.
The other way around in the semi-final. Yeah, what on earth happened?
Yeah, I don't exactly know what happened in that semi-final because I only managed to catch glimpses of it. But in the final, JIA Fan played outstanding. I think she's been struggling for a long time in this combination. But suddenly she found form and she was firing smashes away. Now the final, sometimes when I talk about it, I realize it sounds like they sort of wiped out their opposition. That was not the case. It was a really close fought final, decided in extra points in each game. But they definitely had a more attacking style, CHEN and JIA, in the semi-final and the final of Asian Games. They did one other thing. We saw glimpses of it here. They pushed their defense forward, did CHN and JIA Fan. That was really good. We can see they're standing quite close to the service line here. That worked well for them in Jakarta in the Asian Games. They got a lot of counter opportunities. That's interesting because this is a different arena than HIROTA Senayan. So the question is, the big question is it possible to power your way through HIROTA and Fukushima this time here? What we've seen earlier this week suggests that it's probably not, because the arena is playing quite a bit slower than HIROTA Senayan. Basically yesterday in that women's doubles that we called between the Japanese and Ohio and Poland, it was of no effect attacking.
Challenger, call out.
Well, our first challenge of this women's doubles final. Now I saw that as clearly out.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Well, we're getting better, Steve. We got one right.
We are.
Challenges unsuccessful. One challenge remaining. 4-2. Play.
Oh my goodness, she almost tripped over. It's a lovely choice of shot, but almost took a tumble there, it looked to me. Seemed to lose her footing. Oh yes, she did.
That was the way we saw JIA Fan fire away smashes in Asian Games semi-final and final. We've often this year seen her bail out, so to speak, after one or two smashes, trying to be a little cute with the drop shots or sliced shots. There was none of that in Asian Games, but here it might not be as easy to penetrate with the attack.
As proved by that rally.
Yeah.
Lovely cross-court defensive shot from HIROTA. Big gap there.
Thank you.
Plus the #1 in the world. They've had a chance to sort of regroup, take a look at the video footage, say what happened and what are we going to do about it.
Service over. 6-3.
They're still pushing forward. That's well played. she's covering a lot of court. Chen Qingchen, she was almost behind Jia Yifan in that clearing rally. That is, in my opinion, that's very significant, this rally here, because that's what they couldn't do in Jakarta, the Japanese girls. They could not play clears because of the drift in the arena in Istora Senayan. It's very hard to be accurate with your lifts and your clearing game. So it's basically an attacking style from both sides. They don't have to do that here. They can play clears.
Yeah. Flick serve is long.
Service over. 4-7.
Yeah, clearly long. I've noticed they've used the flick serve quite a bit.
I think that's a perfectly good idea. I think basically in women's doubles you should start with the flick serve as a standard. You should not play a short, low service. See, Jia Yifan was defending the left field, but it was Chen Qingchen who returned the clear. It was well inside the left field.
5-7.
Pan Lee, as animated as always on the coach's bench.
Yeah, she was a little bit under pressure, I think, after the team event where China was not able to win one of the women's doubles against Japan. And just to follow up a little bit on that with the low services, of course, if you have a really good front court player, an expert front court player, you should try and get her involved in the service situation. But for instance, Hirota and FUKUSHIMA, just go with them, just flick every time. Really rock solid defense.
Yeah.
Not necessarily an advantage in the service situation in terms of reading skills on the front court, so it's just a flicker. Dare the opponent to see if they can penetrate. Otherwise, good chance of counter-attacking from the beginning. Shot.
Short.
The mistake. The mistake here from the Japanese pair, in my opinion, was that they didn't move Jia Yifan. Every time she plays a softer shot, maybe they can't move her when she puts a lot of power in her smashes, but when she plays a drop shot, she's going to see action in terms of moving from side to side. Yeah, well played. Lots of possibilities for FUKUSHIMA and Hirota with that positioning of the Chinese pair with Jia Yifan at the net and Chen Qingchen in her forehand side. Every straight smash can just be blocked flat straight. Every cross smash moves Chen Qingchen on the back court. Move him. It's just as good. A mistake from Jia Yifan, but I don't think it's correct play by FUKUSHIMA. I think she should have moved her again to the other side. And then let's see if we know she's got the power, Jia Yifan, but has she got the stamina as well? That's the big question in this women's doubles, in my opinion.
But in the Asian Games, you felt she did have the stamina.
Yeah, but it was much easier attacking because it couldn't really clear and lift with accuracy. So both players, it was about who was better in the attack.
11-7 interval.
Japanese pair didn't really have the possibility of playing a more patient playing style. They have that here.
So it's a 4-point advantage to the #1 seeds, FUKUSHIMA and HIROTA. 11 minutes into the match. Kai Nakajima, Sotoko Sutsuna, 2 coaches there. Sutsuna knows exactly what it was like to play Japan in the final, because she did so 9 years ago.
27.
Yuki Maeda. Maeda, I believe, is working with the host broadcasters. Is a presenter or a commentator. So my quick quiz question. Steen, the last Chinese pair to win the Japan Open.
That's about 4 or 5 years ago.
11-7.
I actually looked at it
Play.
just a while ago. Zhao Yunlei and Chen Ting.
Zhao Yunlei, but it was a sort of trick question because she played 1 or 2 tournaments with Song Xian-sin, and they won the Japan Open. It was one of the couple of tournaments they played together. Very unusual. You don't think of them as a standard pair.
Service over. 8-11.
Oh, that's a nice block. I like that. That's a great punch clear down the
Service
centre.
over. 12-8.
Very, very clever indeed. 50 shots. Surely that's the longest so far. Oh, it goes down as a service error.
Service over. 9.
That's her second. Goodness me. Well, it's not often you see that.
10-12.
Total confusion. Both leaving it for the other. the lucky net chords, CHEN.
11-12.
CHEN was known to the Japanese fans because, of course, she won the mixed doubles title here 2 years ago, playing with Cheng Shi-wei, who we're going to see in the next final.
They've gotten a few easy points, the Chinese pair. That missed kill where they were indecisive, Fukushima and Hirota. The short service and now this net court. That's definitely what they're looking for. In my opinion, I don't think they want to play those long rallies.
12-all.
That was interesting there. Punch clear down the centre of the court again. And this time there was decisive move from Jia Fan.
Yeah, because it was too short. It was way too short to clear from Fukushima. And there's no need to play a punch clear. She can just play a normal clear and make sure that they can't intercept. So they're a little bit shaken at the moment, the Japanese pair.
Yeah, certainly are. They've lost the last 4 points and their opponents are at level. Not any longer. Get the noses in front once more.
12. Leon.
Cross-court lift on the defensive shot, too short once more. An easy opportunity for Jia Fan. Yeah, way inside the back tram line there.
And I mean, that's a little bit puzzling to me why they try and play the cross defense there, because Jia Fan being a left-hander, there's a lot of room straight. You can just play a flat defense, I mean, you can play a flat defense.
Yeah.
That is the only thing that's dangerous. That is that it becomes a little bit too short and Jia Fan will intercept, and then you're in big trouble. And that was exactly what happened. And again, they get beaten in the game, in the service situation. They get beaten on the front court, Hirota and Fukushima. In these playing conditions here, put either CHEN or Jia Fan on the back court, the last 20% of the court, and let them start from there and see if they can work their way through. They've lost way too many quick points on the front court. The world number ones.
Well, it's the first time since they led 2-1. The former world champions have gone into the lead.
They were behind 8-12 or something like that.
They were. was called out.
CHN, corrected call out.
Oh, this is crucial. I have a feeling they might win this challenge. Here we go. What does Hawkeye say? Yeah, it was clearly in.
I don't know what happened in that interval in the first game, but ever since that interval, Fukushima and Hirota, they've looked off their game. They're standing far back in the defense. It seems like they have no clear plan on how to proceed.
(15-13). Play.
Good serve. More decisive at the front of the court, punting the shuttle, Fukushima.
14-15.
It seems like they're determined to attack a bit more, but in my opinion, if Chen and JIA can push their defense forward like they did in the semi and the final of Asian Games, they're going to run themselves into a wall, the top-seeded pair.
15.
Right in between the two Chinese players, and you could hear the clash of rackets. So once again, back level.
15-all.
She looks vulnerable from her deep backhand corner, Jai Fun, doesn't she?
Yeah, and every time she has to move before she hits a shot, she's a little bit challenged against the better pairs, of course. I mean, she's got such a high level, but so does her opponents here.
Twists and turns of this opening game.
17-15.
What's that mean? Something about taking it high, or
maybe aiming a little bit higher in the smashes. If you try and get it as much downward as possible, that's normally where the players are really content in their defense. If you aim a little bit higher, then it's more difficult to get the correct length on the defense.
once again a clash of rackets between the two Chinese players as the smash is aimed right in between the two of them. Well, 5 straight points now to the #1 seeds.
careful going for the middle in the attack lately, HIROTA and FUKUSHIMA.
Six straight points now. So far.
Yeah, the amazing thing is that they make no mistakes. I mean, if you take a number of other pairs, they would have made 3 or 4 mistakes by now.
Game point opportunities on a run of 7 straight points, and indeed it was the longest rally by some considerable margin.
15.
That's the rally to emulate for FUKUSHIMA and HIROTA, in my opinion. Take no chances. The longer the rally, the bigger their chances of winning.
Let's go long. 8 straight points from 15, 13 down. 21-15 confirms the umpire. Opening game to the #1 seeds, much to the delight of the home fans. Yes, it was clearly long. The game in 29 minutes. Safely say something that apparently he's talking about attacking play. She's very, very animated in her style of coaching.
Yeah, she always is.
Yeah.
She was a little upset.
Yeah.
20 seconds. 20 seconds. Player on court.
木の出来なくなったら片方に多めにそれだけは忘れないここにもう一つ相手にサービス
Sakaya on court. Pause.
Well, Kai Nakajima needs to be careful here because he's been told to leave on more than one occasion.
Ready?
You were telling me yesterday, Steen, that this magnificent arena is going to be used for modern pentathlon after the badminton competition.
The fencing part of it, I think, both modern pentathlon and fencing.
Yeah.
Second game, level, play.
So the world number ones, one game to the goods against the former world number ones, the former world champions.
Service over, 1 love.
And it was amazing how they suddenly turned things around again, the number one seeds, because they were losing 7 out of 9 points after the mid-game, and then went on to win 8 straight.
Yeah.
Service over, 1-all. Service over.
It's judgment there
2-1.
from HIROTA. Yes. Well, I'm surprised that Chinese pair managed to keep the rally going as long as they did, because they were under severe pressure, and there was some excellent defence from Chen Qingcheng to keep them in the rally.
Referee.
I think there's a little graze maybe on the elbow of Jari Fan, so all blood injuries under the international rules of sport must be treated straight away. Yeah, just looking at her elbow. But it's amazing when this young Chinese pair, of course, they had won 2 gold medals at World Junior Championships. They burst onto the world stage. They reached 5 Super Series tournament finals. They never lost a Super Series tournament final as a pair.
Yeah, that's amazing.
5 finals, 5. And considering they were so young at the time, I mean, they were 19, 20 at the time. But since the introduction of the World Tour, they haven't actually won World Tour.
They've been struggling.
Yeah.
They've been struggling this year, apart from the Asian Games. That's why it was so surprising that they suddenly found something in that semi-final.
Mm. Yeah, it just needs a little plaster, but the players are perspiring so profusely. I would be surprised if a plaster stays on for terribly long. And then, of course, still talking about this Chinese combination in Glasgow's last year at the World Championships, they won the gold medal, and they became the first ever pair in any discipline to go on and win the World Senior Championship after being World Junior Champions. There've been 8 previous individuals, but never had a pair done it. Then, of course, this year in the men's doubles, we had the winners this year were the first men's doubles pair to do the same. The whole process now of the junior badminton coming through. But what's surprising to me was their explosion onto the world stage at such a young age. Normally in doubles, especially women's doubles, there's so much tactical involvement. It usually takes a little bit of time to develop into the senior game. But they were straight in.
They were. When we first saw Chen, she was impressive when she secured the Uber Cup for China in 2016, winning the decisive match with Tang Yuanting, and I guess there was also a vacant spot, so to speak, in the Chinese team that has been dominant throughout the years. That's well placed, that service. So I guess it was also a lot about coming through against their own compatriots. And after the Olympics in 2016, there was a transition going on in the Chinese women's doubles team.
Yes, nicely across the body. And I think that transition period is still going on, as we've seen from this tournament. I think the older players, former world #1 Tang Jinhua and Yu Xiao Han, so they got through to the quarter-final, beaten by the Chinese pair on court right now. I think that the Chinese younger pair, who Chen Qingchen and Jia Yifan beat in the semi-final, I think they're going to take over. I'm not sure how much we'll see of the older players now.
No, I think they found something as well in the match against the Olympic champions, Matsutomo and Takahashi. Did because they applied the same style as Chen Qingchen and Jia Yifan did at the Asian Games. They pushed forward their defense, and Du Yue is an excellent front court player. She could, if not match, then she could at least challenge Matsutomo on the front court, and they were stronger, the two Chinese players from the back court. So definitely on their way forward.
It's a nice backhand.
And that's, by the way, also Du Yue and Li Yunhee. It's also a youth world championship combination. Lost one of the finals to Chen Qingchen and Jia Yifan.
Well, this is a very, very good little phase by the #1 seeds. Yes, no wonder they smile.
Easy point in the service situation.
3-6.
We discussed it earlier. I still feel it's just more safe just to flick. They've got such a great defense, HIROTA and Fukushima. And there will of course be someone from the respective national teams that will analyze and evaluate and saying, okay, how many rallies did we win when it went past 20 shots, past 40 shots and stuff like that. And I'm sure that they will see that the Japanese will have won a bigger percentage of the longer rallies compared to the Chinese. I think if I were Jia Yifan and Chen Qingchen, I would target Yuki Fukushima in the attack. That means the Chinese attack. I would explore the possibilities against Fukushima. I think she's looked a little bit. But you can't say that she's looked shaky or anything. It's just looked as if it was easier to get through with the attack when they were targeting her than when they were targeting Sayaka HIROTA. Good shot.
Oh, yes. the disguised drop shot to the centre of the court. Played with accuracy too. Got the Chinese pair out of position. Good follow-up on the kill from HIROTA.
Ready?
Very nicely done.
And perfectly placed the drop shot so that it is Jia Fan who goes for it, because she's obviously not as quick on her feet as Chen.
Yeah, it was mishit on the
Service
defence.
over. 6-8.
Amazing to think this young lady at the age of 21, Chen, this is her 44th international tournament final.
That's crazy.
It is, isn't it?
She was quite dominant mixed with Jiang Ziwei when they emerged on the international scene.
Service over. 9-6.
That was a little before the Olympics, as far as I recall, in 2015, when they started playing the Grand Prix and Grand Prix Gold tournaments.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the plaster has been taken off by Jia Fan, hence the little delay.
Excellent play by HIROTA.
Down the centre again.
Interval.
So it's a 5-point advantage at the mid-game interval here in the second game for the home players. Just to put it into perspective, the fact that Chen is today contesting her 44th international tournament final, her 20th in women's doubles. She's contested more finals than these two ladies put together. Fukushima and Sayaka HIROTA. It's a 20th final today for Fukushima and an 18th for HIROTA. And she's only 21, my goodness me.
11-6. Play.
That's good wide. There was the flick. I've been keeping an eye on it since you talked about that in the opening game, Steve. And they are flicking quite a lot, but perhaps not as regularly as you would like them to.
No, I would like it to be the standard.
Yeah.
Coming through in this arena. Jia Fan. That was enough in Historis and Iron. She put so much pressure on. Amazing.
Oh, it's just wrong. It's just wrong. Well, it wasn't that she meant to
Service
leave it,
over.
she just couldn't get to it.
Sometimes it's
12.
better to be lucky than good. I guess she's actually both Chen.
Well, as far as the former world champions are
Service
concerned,
over.
they have to make a huge
13,
physical and mental
7.
effort right now, because I think they're on the verge of being broken.
Yeah, they are. They don't get through with their attack, and they can't match the #1 seeds in terms of mobility on court. Was
Service
telling
over.
as well that
8,
China
13.
did not medal at all in women's doubles on home soil in the World Championships in Nanjing.
Well wide. And incidentally, China didn't
Service
medal
over.
in either
14,
singles at the
8.
No.
Asian Games, and that's the first time since they first competed in the Asian Games, I understand.
Yeah. Cover so much cold Chen that she basically becomes
15, 8.
non-dangerous. She's covering so long in so much in behind JIA Fan, so big a part of JIA Fan's backcourt that in my opinion she's not that dangerous anymore. We saw the same thing happen with Tang Yuanting when she was playing with Yu Yang up until the Olympics in 2016, and
16, 8.
she couldn't do it. They were really, really happy, of course, when they won the Asian Games gold medal, JIA Fan and Chen. I think JIA Fan was in tears, and of course there's been a lot of pressure on this pair here. It seems like it's very decisive what kind of arena they're playing in.
17, 8.
Well, when you consider it was 8-6 at one stage.
Then this is broken.
Yeah, 9 of the last 11 points going to the #1 seeds. Good return.
And that's my
Service
point.
over.
I mean, you risk
9,
facing
17.
returns like this, and even if the return is not a winner, what do you normally do, or what do Hirota and Fukushima do with the third shot? They play it to the backcourt, so why not just start playing it where you can play a precise flick serve?
Nice. was landed in. Oh, it's a challenge here.
13 challenges call in.
Indeed, it was in.
Challenges unsuccessful.
Well done, line judge.
One challenge remaining.
3 points
Service over.
away.
18-9.
Title for this home pair, Fukushima and Hirota.
Service over. 10-18.
Missed it.
11-18.
I like the idea to go totally cross from Hirota. I think she could have done it as well from the backhand side when JPN was standing there. Just didn't have the correct accuracy.
Smash down the centre of the court, and whilst it didn't confuse the Chinese players this time as to who was taking
Service
it,
over.
I did think CHEN was taking it a little
19-11.
late. So 2 points away from the title, Fukushima and Hirota. Proved a very, very successful tactic throughout this final and exposed a real
20,
weakness in CHEN and JIA. But now Fukushima and Hirota on the verge of victory. Match point opportunities.
Service over. 12-20.
Been wide.
And that's it. Yuki Fukushima and Sayaka Hirota, the #1 seeds, win the Daihatsu Yonex Japan Open. And for a second consecutive year, a home women's doubles pair take the women's doubles title at the Japan Open. It's a 4th title of the year for the world #1s, to go with the German Open, the Asian Championships, the Indonesian Open, which was a Super 1000 event, and now here in Japan, a Super 750. Well, they will be delighted by the title. And I'm sure they'll be very pleased that they will go up to #2 on the race to Guangzhou standings as well, because as world #1s, they're not guaranteed a place in the World Tour finals, because there's only 2 pairs per nation allowed, and the world champions will get an invitation. But they must be very, very happy indeed with today's result.
ダブルス優勝となりました福島由紀選手、廣田彩香選手です。
Women's doubles champion in Daihatsu Yonex Japan Open 2018, Yuki Fukushima and Sayaka Hirota.
優勝決まった瞬間、会場から大きな歓声が起こりました。福島選手、どんな思いがあふれました？
We heard a big roar of applause when you smash on the winning shots. So how do you feel about it?
はい、そうですね、本当に長い試合がずっと連戦で続いていたので、もう本当ほっとしたっていう気持ちと、本当に皆さんの応援がすごく力になって、今日勝つことができました。ありがとうございました。
Well, it was really long run and long tournament, so I kind of take a breath to know that I win over this tournament, and also thank you very much for all your support.
先月2度対戦した中国のペア、1勝1敗ということでしたが、今日は勝利しての優勝、この先にどのようにつなげていきますか？
So I know you have been competing with Chinese pair for over twice, and then it was 1-1, it was tie. So this time around you won over them. So how do you feel about it?
そうですね、この中国ペアはアジア大会の個人戦で負けていたので、やっぱりリベンジしたいという気持ちで今日臨んで、2-0で勝てて本当に嬉しかったですし、でもまだまだこれから先もずっと当たる相手だと思うので、勝ち続けることも難しいと思いますが、自分たちの相手が対策を練ってきても自分たちも工夫しながらやっていきたいと思います。
女子ダブルスを制しました福島選手、廣田選手でした。おめでとうございます。
Congratulations to the pairs.
Well, sadly, we didn't get the translation of Sayaka Hirota's answer, but there is confirmation, 21-15, 21-12, and I have to say, as the match progressed, they really did start to look more and more impressive. 13-15 down in the opening game. From that moment on, I thought there was only one pair in it that was going to win. The moment of victory. And the realisation they have become only the 2nd pair from Japan to win the women's doubles title here at their home event. 56 minutes in duration for the final. It was hard fought, but I think that the world #1s were just too good today, and given the conditions which Steen has been so eloquently talking about and the influence of the conditions on the style of play, well, I think that if Fukushima and Hirota keep this sort of form in 2 years' time, who knows?
Yeah, they have a good chance if they can qualify from Japan,
yes,
because there's so many great pairings, and this is the only final where we don't have the current world champions represented, but we had Fukushima and Hirota, who almost became the world champions, had 2 match points, so
Ladies and
almost just as
gentlemen,
good.
we are now ready for the prize ceremony of the women's doubles.
So the public address says that we're about to have the prize presentation. So 2 finals and 2 lots of success for home players.
Runners-up are CHEN, JPN, and JIA.